If toxic people in your life are suddenly giving you a hard time, talking behind your back, trying to undermine you, going cold without explanation, or making you feel like you are the problem, listen to me right now. That is not a sign that something is wrong with you. That is a signal that something is very, very right with you. Toxic people do not target everyone equally. They target specific people, the ones who refuse to play their games, the ones who have standards they cannot manipulate around, the ones whose very existence makes their own insecurities impossible to ignore. Most people assume that if someone dislikes them, they must have done something wrong. Wrong. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can possibly be to a toxic person is simply yourself. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which parts of yourself are making them the most uncomfortable. I'm going to walk you through 5 specific things you are already doing right that toxic people absolutely cannot stand. Stay until the end, because number 5 is the one they hate more than anything else you could ever do. I used to believe that when someone disliked me, it was automatically my fault. I would analyze every conversation, every choice I made, every word I said, searching for the mistake, looking for the thing I needed to fix in myself. And what I discovered after years of that exhausting cycle was something I completely did not expect. The people who disliked me most intensely were almost never the grounded, healthy ones. They were always the ones who needed something from me that I had stopped being willing to provide. Control, reaction, compliance, validation. The exact moment I stopped offering those things, the dislike arrived, and that moment turned out to be the same moment I started actually living right. So today, I'm breaking down exactly what you are doing that they hate so much. Toxic people run a very specific test on every person they encounter. They push, they apply pressure, they challenge your decisions, your preferences, your positions, not because they genuinely disagree with any of it, but because they are checking one thing and one thing only, whether or not you can be moved. And the moment they find someone who cannot be moved, the dislike begins almost instantly. Picture this. You make a clear decision. It could be something small, who you choose to spend your time with, what you are and are not willing to tolerate, how you want something to be handled. And they push back on it, maybe directly, with arguments and logic, maybe indirectly, with disappointment or strategic silence. And instead of reconsidering just to end the tension, you hold your position, calmly, without raising your voice, without getting defensive. You simply stay exactly where you already were, and that quiet, unmovable stillness makes them furious, because almost everyone else folds right here. You didn't. Here's what's really happening in their head. A toxic person's ability to control any situation depends entirely on their ability to create movement in the people around them. Your uncertainty is their greatest opportunity. Your need for their approval is their most powerful leverage. But when you hold your ground without apology, you remove both of those tools from their hands simultaneously. They have nowhere to grab onto. And a manipulator who cannot find a handhold will always convert that frustration directly into dislike. So when they push back and pressure you to change a position you know is right, say exactly this. I've heard you. My answer hasn't changed. Not dismissive, not aggressive, just completely clear. I've heard you. My answer hasn't changed. Acknowledge the push without absorbing it. Let the firmness of that single sentence do every bit of the heavy lifting. A toxic person cannot argue with someone who doesn't need their agreement to feel secure, and they cannot manipulate someone who is no longer asking for their approval. And here's where it gets interesting. Because this is just the first thing, and it is the most common. This one is very specific, and it is one of the most powerful things you can do in front of a toxic person. You say no, and you do not apologize for it. Most people, good, empathetic, genuinely caring people, are conditioned from very early in life to feel guilty when they disappoint someone, and toxic people know this better than almost anyone. They have spent years studying exactly how to activate that guilt on demand. Because the moment you feel guilty for saying no, they already have you. They don't need to force you to comply. Your own guilt will do their work for them, every single time. Picture this. They ask you for something, your time, your energy, your presence somewhere you do not want to be, your involvement in something that does not serve you. And you say no. Cleanly, without a 5-paragraph explanation attached to it, without 3 layers of apology wrapped around it. Just no, and they make a face. They go quiet in that very specific loaded way. They say something like, okay, fine, I just assumed you actually cared. And most people collapse right here. They rush to explain themselves. They rush to justify their answer. They say, no wait, actually, let me think about it. And by the time that conversation ends, they have said yes to something they never wanted to do. You know this feeling deeply. You have lived it more than once. Here's the psychology behind why this works on most people. A toxic person does not just want the yes. They specifically want the guilty yes. Because a guilty yes arrives wrapped in an apology, an explanation, and an open emotional wound they can return to whenever it serves them. But a clean no, delivered without guilt, without justification, without apology, sends them one very clear signal. This person does not require my approval to feel good about themselves. And that is the one specific type of person that a toxic person genuinely cannot manipulate. Your guilt-free no is not rudeness. It is self-respect with a voice, and they are jealous of your ability to use it. When they try to make you feel guilty for holding your limit, say this: no, and I don't need to explain that further. No softening, no justification, no door left cracked open. No, and I don't need to explain that further. Then stay completely quiet. Because every single word you add after a clear no is an open invitation to negotiate. And you are not negotiating your own well-being with anyone. But wait until you hear the next one. Because number 3 is the thing that unsettles a toxic person at the deepest level. A toxic person is almost always running some kind of game. It might be a subtle manipulation dressed up as a casual comment, a power play disguised as a reasonable conversation, a guilt trip wrapped carefully inside what looks like genuine concern, a passive-aggressive dig delivered with a relaxed smile. And most people feel something uncomfortable in those moments. They sense that something is off, but they cannot name it precisely. They can feel the game being played, but they cannot identify the individual moves. And that inability to name it keeps them off balance and engaged. But you see it, you name it, quietly inside your own head, sometimes out loud, and the game collapses. Picture this. They make one of their signature moves. A backhanded compliment perfectly designed to make you feel just slightly smaller. A pointed question engineered to put you on the defensive. A fake expression of concern delivered in front of others to remind everyone of your struggles. And instead of reacting, you simply pause. And you look at them, not with anger, not with any visible accusation, just with a calm, quiet recognition, the way you look at something familiar, like you are watching a predictable movie you have already seen before, and they can feel that look, that recognition, that complete absence of the reaction they came for. It unsettles them immediately. Because nothing shuts down a toxic person's moves faster than a target who can clearly see them in real time. Here's what's really happening in their head, and here's the crazy part about this one specifically. A toxic person's entire strategy lives or dies on the hidden nature of their moves. As long as you cannot see what they are doing, the move keeps working perfectly. The moment you can actually see it clearly, confidently, without any doubt, the move is finished. Because it was never designed to survive being seen. It was built specifically to operate inside your confusion, inside your self-doubt, inside the half-second where you are too off-balance to think clearly. Your clear vision removes all of that. And without the confusion, they have absolutely nothing left to work with. When they make a move, and you feel that immediate recognition rising inside you, say this: I see what's happening here. I'm not going to engage with it. Calm, even, completely unbothered. I see what's happening here. I'm not going to engage with it. Then redirect yourself or step away entirely. You are not accusing them. You are not starting anything. You are simply naming what you observed and removing your participation from the equation. That single move is more powerful than any argument you could have stayed to win. Boom. The clear eye is one of your most powerful assets, and it flows directly into number 4. Here is a truth about toxic people that almost nobody says out loud directly. They need your reaction far more than they need anything else from you. They need your anger, your panic, your defensiveness, your tears, your public outburst in front of people who will remember it, your private spiral they can watch from a distance, any of it, all of it. Because your emotional reaction is the live confirmation that they still matter. It is proof, in real time, that they still hold power over how you feel on any given day. And when you stop giving them that reaction, when you become, in the very best possible way, completely and genuinely still, they don't just dislike you anymore, they become almost obsessed with figuring out how to crack you. Picture this. They say something specifically designed to get under your skin, in public, in a group setting, in the place where the audience makes the sting land harder, and everyone around pauses to watch how you are going to respond. And instead of rising to the bait the way they expected, you do something they did not prepare for at all. Nothing. You pause. You take one slow breath that nobody can see you taking. You look at them for exactly one steady, even second, and then you calmly continue whatever you were doing before they spoke. No visible flinch. No voice that shakes. No heated comeback they can screenshot and replay later. Just complete, unreadable, total stillness. And the room feels it. They feel it. And in that silence, without a single word, you won every exchange that could have followed. Here's the psychology behind the power of staying still. Emotional reactions release pressure. When you react, the tension in the moment escapes, and you hand them exactly the energy they arrived for. But stillness holds the pressure. It redirects it. It sends it right back to the place it came from. Think of it this way. A toxic person's provocation is a stone thrown at still water. If the water reacts, if it rises up to fight the stone wins. But if the water simply receives the stone and returns to stillness without a sound, the stone disappears into the deep, and the water remains exactly as it was. That is the still water. That is you operating at your most powerful and most protected. When they provoke you in front of others, say nothing immediately. Pause for 3 full seconds. Count them internally. 1, 2, 3. Then say this, quietly and completely evenly. Is there something else you needed? That is all. No heat behind it. No sarcasm layered into it. No lecture following it. Just, is there something else you needed? Then return your full attention to something else entirely. That response will outlive the moment. It will live inside their head long after everyone else in that room has moved on. And if you thought that was powerful, number 5 is the one that makes toxic people lose actual sleep. This is the thing they hate most of all. Every single toxic person carries a hidden fear they will never admit out loud, not even to themselves. The fear that the people around them are going to outgrow them. That the very people they have been talking down to, quietly holding back, dismissing, and criticizing are going to rise. And that their rising is going to make every single insult, every dismissal, every moment of contempt look exactly like what it always was. The frightened, desperate behavior of someone who sensed your potential and had no healthy way to handle it. When you keep growing, when your life keeps ascending quietly and without interruption, you become their walking, breathing regret. Not because you designed it that way, simply because you refuse to stop. Picture this, you are building something, quietly, consistently, without needing to announce every single step you take. Maybe it is a new skill you have been developing, a new discipline you have been holding, a new circle of people who actually see and respect you, a new version of yourself you have been carving out, carefully, for months. And they notice the shift. They can feel it before they can name it. Your energy is different, your options are growing, your confidence is rooting itself deeper with every single week that passes, and they do not celebrate any of it. They genuinely cannot. Because your growth is a mirror, and what it reflects back to them about their own choices is something they are not yet prepared to look at directly. So instead of being glad for you, they criticize you. They minimize what you are building. They call it arrogance. They say you have changed. And they deliver that last one like it is an accusation. Here's what's really happening in their head. A toxic person's entire sense of safety depends on a fixed hierarchy around them. They need the people close to them to stay predictable, to stay reachable, to stay just small enough that the dynamic never shifts. Your growth dismantles that hierarchy with every step you take. Every upward move you make is one step they chose not to take themselves, not because you left them behind on purpose, but because they were never willing to do the difficult, honest work of growing. And your visible, undeniable progress makes that unwillingness more visible with each passing week. That is not your burden to carry. That is your power to own. And here's the crazy part about this one. You do not have to confront them to win this. You do not have to argue with them. You do not have to prove a single thing to anyone. You just have to keep going. Your ascending life speaks in a language no amount of criticism can ever translate or silence. It is the loudest statement you will ever make, and it does not require one single word. When they mock what you are building or try to pull you back down to where they are comfortable, say this: I'm focused on where I'm going. That is not going to change. No defense attached, no debate invited. No opening left for them to walk back through. I'm focused on where I'm going. That is not going to change. Then turn back to your work and keep building. Let the results eventually speak in a language that leaves no room for argument. Here's what nobody tells you directly about being disliked by toxic people. Every single thing on this list. Holding your ground, saying no without guilt, seeing clearly, staying completely still, ascending without stopping. None of it is a strategy you deployed. None of it is a tactic you consciously decided to use against them. It is simply the natural, unavoidable result of someone who finally chose themselves. Toxic people do not hate you because you did something wrong. They hate you because you stopped doing something wrong. You stopped folding when they pushed. You stopped explaining yourself when you didn't have to. You stopped making yourself available for games you never agreed to play in the first place. Their hatred is not a verdict on your character. It is a receipt. Proof of everything you are no longer willing to give away for free. But here is the plot twist. The The toxic people who hate you for these 5 things will often become the first ones to quietly respect you for them later. Not always out loud, not always to your face. But the ones who watch you hold your line, own your no, see clearly through the fog, stay still under pressure, and keep building your life without permission. They will remember you differently than they remember the people who bent. And somewhere in that memory there will always be a part of them that wished, genuinely wished, they had chosen to be more like you. Let their dislike be your compass. Let their discomfort be your confirmation. If toxic people are struggling with who you are becoming, you are not moving in the wrong direction. You are exactly where you need to be. The right people will always respect what the wrong ones simply cannot tolerate. Pick one of these 5 things right now. Just one. And ask yourself honestly, which one am I already doing that I have not been giving myself enough credit for? Then come back and tell me in the comments, which one do the toxic people in your life hate the most about you? I genuinely want to hear it. And if this video made you feel seen for something you have been told is a flaw, hit that subscribe button. One click. That is the whole ask. At the end of next week's video, I am giving a shout out to one subscriber. It could be you. Keep doing exactly what toxic people hate. That is what freedom looks like in real life.